Well, hi there, everybody. I'm Mark Plunkett. I'm the pastor of Heritage Presbyterian Church, and this is our Wednesday devotional for the week of February the 10th, 2021. I want to tell you a story about when I was in school, when I was a kid. I think it was around the fourth grade, and the elementary school that I went to was pretty traditional, especially, back in the 60s. And so anyway, what would happen each week in spelling is the teacher would have us open our spelling books and we would look at the unit. We would go over the words on Monday and we would do some work on them on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, we would take a pre-test to see if we had learned the words already. And if we got 100 on it, then we didn't have to take the real test on Friday. We could sit and read a library book or color or look out the window. We could do anything we wanted as long as we didn't disturb everybody else taking the test. That seemed like a pretty good deal to me. Now, I was a really, really good speller when I was a kid. I'm still a pretty good speller. And I hardly ever studied for spelling tests. I just didn't need to. I'm not bragging about it. I'm just saying how it was. And so almost always, when I took the practice test on Wednesday and I got my grades back on Thursday, I was like, I got 100. Ha, good for me. And then I got to sit and just kind of goof off on Friday, read a book or color or do whatever I wanted. Well, if you remember spelling books, each week there was some kind of a theme in the words, like words that end with ing, words with double letters, words with silent E's in them or silent H's in them or something like that. And so there was always a theme and there were always about 20, 25 words or so. Well, one week we got what I thought was the easiest list I'd ever seen, abbreviations. Now, there's all kinds of abbreviations, like DEPT for department or BROS for brothers, things like that. And I knew all of them. I didn't even worry about them. And there were some kids that could not get some things straight, like ounces. The abbreviation is OZ. I thought that was just cool, but I didn't understand it. And then pounds. Pounds was LBS. And I'd sit there and say to myself, libs. I think that's pretty funny too. But there was one abbreviation that all of us should have paid attention to. And it was for the word etc. And etc. is one of those funny kind of words that shows up every once in a while in writing. And what it means is so forth and so on. Like you're explaining something, you go, etc., 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 like that. It just means, the rest of it. Well, when I was in the fourth grade, I thought the word was etc., not etc. So did everybody else in the class. And so when we took our practice test on Wednesday, some of the kids missed, some of the abbreviations, and some of them only missed one or two. But everybody in the room missed the abbreviation for etc. because all of us wrote the same thing I did, ECT. And if we'd been paying attention, when we got our spelling work back, the teacher had pointed out that we all misspelled or misused etc., but we didn't notice that. So all of us had to retake the test on Friday, except for one boy, a friend of mine named Johnny West. And Johnny was a good guy. Everybody liked him. He had tons and tons of friends. He was one of the smart kids in class. He wasn't the all-time smartest kid in class, but he was one of the smart kids. And Johnny was the only kid in the room that had noticed that it was etc. So for the abbreviation, Johnny wrote ETC. And he's the only kid in the room that got 100. Now, while the rest of us are taking our spelling tests on Friday, and I had to take it too, Johnny got to sit and read. Now, why am I telling you this story? What is the lesson here? What's the big point that I'm trying to make? Well, I haven't explained it yet. You see, the way a lot of us felt toward Johnny was we felt envious, we felt resentful, we felt jealous. We wished that we had done what Johnny did. We wished that we had all paid attention to it. We wished we were like Johnny. We wished that we could goof off. And Johnny was not one of those kids. He wasn't like that. He was a good guy. He just sat and read the entire time the rest of us were taking the test. And he never said a word to anybody about it. But we were jealous of him. I actually remember feeling mad at Johnny. Johnny didn't do anything wrong. Johnny just got 100 because he paid attention. That's what the rest of us should have done. Even some of the really smart girls that were really good at spelling, like Meredith. Meredith always got 100. Meredith missed it. She did the same thing the rest of us did. So we were a little bit jealous of Johnny. And after the test was over, I remember it took me a day or two to get back to normal. And folks, let me tell you something. That is as wrong as it can possibly be. It's okay to look at things with people and say to yourself, gee, I wish I had a car like that, or I wish I'd paid attention during that test, or wow, he got that raise and that promotion. I wish I got that too. But not to the point where we hate the other person or we're mad at them. Listen to what it says in the Bible about this. In the book of Proverbs, Proverbs has all kinds of really neat things in it. Little short sayings. Listen to this one. A tranquil mind gives life to the flesh, but passion makes the bones rot. A tranquil mind. That's what I needed. I needed a tranquil mind. I didn't need to resent or be envious or be jealous of Johnny West, my friend. I needed to take that test. I needed to pay attention. I needed to maybe not be quite so much of a smarty pants myself. I needed to be a little bit more humble. And because of one little abbreviation, that by the way, I have never gotten wrong since, one little abbreviation, one 3-letter abbreviation, I got reminded of that. So Johnny West, wherever you are, I salute you, old friend. You got 100 on that and I didn't. And I had no reason to feel bad about it. You were my buddy in that class. You were one of my friends. And I'm glad that you were. And I'm also glad I learned this little lesson. Need to watch how we feel about things. Let's remember not to be jealous of one another. Let's cheer for one another. That's what Jesus would want us to do. Don't you think? Amen.